What's really good, y'all? What's really good? It is MC Ms. Marvel Storm 110 back at it again, aka Latoya Justice Shari. If you know me, baby. And I'm super excited because we up in here with a mad special guest just killing it, J. Cole in it, Tupac Shakur in it. You know what I'm saying? He's doing everything. You know what I'm saying? He's making the beats and taking the names, all right? We
Right.
got P. Jordn up in the building. Up
What's
in
up?
the building, son. Let them
Thank you,
know.
man.
Let them
Thank
get
you.
an
I
introduction to
appreciate you.
you.
I've been excited to be on here ever since you invited me. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. You know, being an artist, you think about this constantly, kind of like this moment, being
Yeah.
asked to be on somebody's like podcast or a show or anything like that. So it means a lot to me. I appreciate it. I'm Free Jordn. I've been making music for a long time. I think I'm going on like 10 years now.
10
Just
years? God.
yeah, 10 years writing. I produce, I mix, I master, I do all that. So I just appreciate you having me on and asking me, reaching out. It means a lot. It really does.
I'm thankful to have you on here. First and foremost, 10 years ago, let's think back 10 years ago. What made you even think about, hey, I want to be in music? This is what I want to do.
You know, I started listening to hip hop at like an early age, but it wasn't something that I really thought about until I was in high school, because I would see my friends. They would write, they would do like ciphers and rap and freestyle. And at the time, it was something I wanted to do, kind of like in a jealous type of way. Like I couldn't do it. I wasn't really good at it. But these are my friends. Like, you want to do and fit in with your friends whenever, you know, whatever they're doing. So I just kind of went home and started writing. But I had been listening to music, you know, to hip hop music for years before that. Since I was in middle school, I've listened to all types of music, rock music, alternative metal. I listen to some pop, electronic music and stuff. But Tupac, I listened to Tupac when I was in middle school. I was like, I had to be like 13 or 12, and that was pretty much it from there. And then when I started rapping or writing and actually rapping, that was it. I was hooked. So it's been a while. it's been a long. It doesn't feel like it's been that long either, but it's been a while. It's been a long time doing it
That's
and trying.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for 10 years. You've been influenced by a lot of people. Who are your main influences that you use for your music now?
Now, I honestly, and I've written about this a lot in my music, that as far as now is concerned, that I don't listen to a lot of rappers. I'm a really big R&B fan, so like that's honest. Like that's, I do draw a lot of inspiration from R&B now, in a way, more production wise, I think. But as far as hip hop, my inspirations are always like my top five is like Kanye, not in order, but like Kanye, obviously. That's for production too. Kanye, Tupac, Kendrick, Common, Eminem. I know Eminem's like, you know, it can be, especially from his music back in the day, but Eminem for sure. And a lot of my inspirations are actually production wise, like Jay Dilla, XXYYXX. He's like really underground. You could look him up. He's probably my biggest inspiration as far as producing music. Noah 40 Shabib. Drake is that's Drake's main producer. Drake's an influence as well. I've been listening to Drake since I was a freshman in high school. So yeah, that's, you know, J. Cole's, you know, I pull from a lot of places. So but I try to keep it true to how I would make music and what I think sounds good at the end of the day.
Right.
And that's what's most important. So I do pull from other artists, but I also try and keep it still me, you know, and still rooted in what I think, what I would listen to, you know.
Exactly. What do you think your message is for this new season in your life? What do you think is the message that you're trying to get across to the people who are listening to your music?
That's a good question. I don't even think it's hard to think about sometimes. I think that's really what it is. Like, a lot of these songs I've been making recently are really based around my place in hip hop music, because as a culture, I've looked at hip hop as like, it's the most one of the most expressive forms of music, in my opinion. So to want a place in that, but then I also feel like because of certain circumstances, I don't have that, and I never will. Like, due to, I don't. One of the things that a lot of people in hip hop like to make fun of is the biracial thing, because it's other rappers who's talked about it. It's not, where somebody who's biracial may come from, it's not seen as a legitimate struggle. So, but there is that is something that I've dealt with, as well as where I come from. I don't come from I don't come from the streets. I don't come from a really troubled background, like a lot of the artists that I've admired, listened to growing up and all that. I don't come from that, so then that's something, and it's made me really question myself on if I should even be trying to write lyrics, or if I should be trying to produce. It's real. It's real. It's real, and I overthink a lot. So I have OCD. So like everything is like kind of, I just don't know. I don't know. I never know. So it's like, that's really where I've been, and especially trying to make music for so long, and writing and producing, and not like, and stopping myself constantly, basically just limiting myself, stopping myself from getting to where I want to go because of those doubts. That's really where I feel like, until I get out of that, until I get all of that out of my system, that's the only area that I'm in right now mentally. But I can't wait to get out of that, because that's not, I have so many ideas for so many projects I've had for so long. But this, you hear it a lot in the songs I've dropped recently. It's just that struggle, that internal struggle of like, do I even want to try and do this anymore?
You got a story. You got a dope story.
I appreciate that.
When you said that to me, I consider myself like a blurb. You know what I'm saying? Black nerd. And
yeah.
I was born in North New Jersey, but I was raised in Browns Mills. And Browns Mills is basically by the base. And I was one out of like 1,000 white people. I was one black person out of 1,000 black people. And so I had 2 white stepmothers. And so I was always, hi, how are you doing? It's nice to meet you. And I still loved hip hop. Like at first I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I was just, everything. Because I'm eclectic. I love Jimi Hendrix. I love, Aerosmith. I love Britney Spears. I love anything that lets me create and express myself. I love that. And so I seen a lot of that in you, in your style, in your personality, in your music. And one thing I want to say to you is, your music is enough. There's people that need to hear that side of you, that OCD, that song that you dropped, OCD, is dope because it's your soul. When you are a creative person, you're always gonna have that internal struggle. Jimi Hendrix did. Tupac Shakur did. I don't know if you watched that new documentary he did.
I did. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, because he was a poet. He was a poet. He was a real sweet, kind heart spirit. But he still, even though he lived in the projects, even though he went through all the struggles, even though his mother was a Black Panther and bred him into the Black Panther lifestyle, he still had that struggle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your music is dope, so addicted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to like fucking worry about the rest of them, because that ass your story gonna be received. You know what I'm saying? I overthink shit too, like for real. Because I've been wanting to do this meeting with you like 4 months ago, but I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it. Free Jordn, free me. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not that. I'm not. You know. I appreciate that though. Yeah. I'm open to do like any. You know. Like I'm not. Maybe on. You know where you first heard me and stuff. Like it might have seemed like, oh, that's Free Jordn, but it's. I'm never like. I try and stay grounded and stay as humble. Even like I'm going to try and continue that. Like I don't. I always think I'm not like the best. I'll say that well, I'm not gonna say I don't think I'm the best because I do think I'm the best, but is you know no, like I think I'm better. I think I'm better than a lot of people out here. But again, it's just that it's that it's like another thing about it too. And I've talked to my family about this recently. It's like what is too far. I was raised by all women, so the idea of saying something that my mother might hear, that she would be like, like why did you say that? Out of just the art of it or just what I've grown up listening to, because I might say a line that sounds not the best, but it's because I grew up listening to guys saying lines that probably wasn't maybe not the right thing to say, but it sounds cool in the moment. It's like it's not. I don't want the women in my life to see me that way, because I was raised to respect women and to treat women with, the respect that they deserve. So for me to get on a song and say something that my mom or my aunt or my sister or any woman in my family will look at me sideways, that's another struggle. It's like, I know there's part of me that shouldn't care. Part of me is just like, well, it's an artistic expression. But, that's just who I am as a person. I care about their opinion and how they see me and how they, how I carry myself, especially with this, if it goes somewhere, and well, it will go somewhere, manifesting. But
it's coming.
When
it's coming.
Yeah, when it gets to that point, it's like I just know that will be a problem. I also do know that when you get to that point, you can kind of say whatever anyways, and then it might not matter. Like, you're making money now, and it's all that stuff. But, I always have that in the back of my mind.
We gotta, hold up. We gotta shout out from your boy, Big Carpe.
I know who that is. I know that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the car.
We got another shout out. Shout out to Big Carpe. My boys on the podcast, man.
What's up, bro?
He's real ecstatic. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, man.
And
that's my friend Sam.
Hey, Sam, I am. Shout out to you,
Sam. What's up? I appreciate you all. Yeah, those are my friends. Sam's like a really close friend. The car is a really close friend, so I appreciate you all. I really do.
Yes, and that's dope. Like, I'm glad that they showed up for you, because a lot of times when you're a rapper, people don't believe what you're doing. They don't believe the movement. I don't care how great you are, they don't believe it. But you have a force about you that allows people to see what they're buying. It's like going to the steakhouse and them saying, "Here's a whole steak." You know what I'm saying? Before you even buy the steak, here's the whole steak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's
and
true.
You got that.
I appreciate that.
But I do have to say something. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because when you said, like, that when you rap, people don't buy into what you're doing, that's so true. Because there's people who I've known from, like, growing up, being in high school, like, I'll see them, like, after our high school careers and stuff, and I would tell them, I'm into music, I'm trying to make music, and it's just like blank stares. It's like they don't really get it. They don't process it, or they don't want to. They don't want to give you that, or like, I don't know. I don't really know what it is, but that's something too. Like, that's something that is you got to deal with. So I resonate with that a lot.
People don't see it until they see it.
Yeah.
We had did an interview, me, Jovi, and Tree with La Russell. And I started really banging out his music. I'm not gonna lie, he's my favorite rapper. Like, every time I do an interview with somebody, I fucks with them hard now. Like, I'm listening, stalking their tracks every day now. So that I'm just gonna let you know I'm stalking your tracks.
I appreciate that.
He said on his track that his mother didn't believe, like his mother and his father loved him and they believed in him,
Mhm.
but they weren't able to truly back him until they saw him putting in the work for real, for real.
Yeah.
People can hear you talk about it because a lot of people talk about it. They're like, yeah, I'm a rapper. And they're like, okay. Everybody named mama's a rapper. Like, I know an auntie over there that's a rapper.
That's true.
But you really putting in that work. Like, I saw you grinding. It felt like you was always on phone, especially at nighttime. Like, just streaming, like, just constantly promoting yourself, constantly getting it in. And I felt like people gonna know about who you are. Like, I could literally see you because of your story doing some songs with J. Cole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you did that song about your grandmother, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit if we wanted to cry. Then a little bit did cry a little bit because I'm a little sensitive.
Same.
And I feel like a part of you wanted to prove to yourself, like, do you feel like there's a part of you because you're a rapper that has to prove that you're black enough?
Oh yeah, like you know, I don't really, because I identify as black, so it's like I don't, that to me isn't really an issue, but growing up it definitely was, because
what made you change that up?
Just because I don't have to prove my blackness to anybody. I was, you know, I love everybody. I love every color. I love every color, everybody. But I was not raised by a single white person. I was raised by black women. So it's like I don't need to do that. Like, I don't, for me, I feel and I know what I am at the end of the day. And that's what that was what was instilled in me from the jump, is that this is what you are. My grandmother would never have let me think that I was anything other than what I am. And as a black man, like, she would tell me, if she thought I was acting a certain way, she would say, don't forget that you're still, you know, you're a black man in this world. Like, don't forget that.
I know you want to slip up and say the word. You're like, you still ain't.
that too. Yeah, she would say that. I you know, but that song, that's why, like, she would tell me that, like, you know, she was, that writing that song was really hard. It was like a year in the making, even recording that song, because she passed away May 28th of 2022. I started writing it really early on after she passed, because that was my first big loss close to me. So it was hard. I really loved my grandma, like, a lot. She was an anchor in our family. Like, she was the centerpiece. She was the hierarchy. She ran everything pretty much.
Big mom.
Yeah. She was atop her throne till the day that she was gone. So losing her was like a hard pill to swallow, and I always was afraid to lose her. So to have people listen to it, and being like an independent artist, I guess, I have to try and promote my own songs in the best way that I can in order to get people to hear them. So I didn't promote that song as much because I made it for my family. I made it for myself. And it was a way for me to sort of grieve a little bit more. I still haven't grieved fully. So for people to hear it and listen to it, it really meant a lot. Like, for people just to check it out and to tell me and to reach out. You know, people texting me and telling me that it meant a lot to them. People in my personal life was telling me how great it was, and that to me makes it worth it, you know. So, and I appreciate you listening to it. It means a lot to me. It really does.
Yeah, most definitely. That's a dope track. It's a dope song. Do you feel like your music is the outlet for anything that you're going through in your life, whether it's a relationship or something new that you want to do? Does it help you vent? Does it give you closure?
Honestly, no. Honestly, you know what? It's like, oh man. I mean, there is that. I've definitely done that. I definitely can use it as an outlet. But and it's weird for me to say no because a lot of my songs are that. They really
Right.
are.
Right.
But it's not necessarily that because I want them to be.
Mm.
It's more so that it's just how it worked. Like again, like when I started rapping, I just was rapping about whatever whatever sounded good to me, because I just felt like I could do it. It was
Right.
something that like, and then when I was in high school, like the first time I rapped in front of my friends, they were like, "Okay, that was nice," and then I was like, "Oh," so then that was like an addicting kind of feeling.
Mm.
Fast forward to now, where it's like I've been making music for so long, and that eternally feeling like I don't have anything to show for it is what put me in this position to make these songs. But it's because I feel like I'm trying to claw my way out of that and trying to reclaim something that I told myself a long time ago was gonna, it was gonna be my way to way out, way to the top, however you want to see it. It was gonna be my way to what I wanted,
Right.
and I haven't delivered that yet. That was a promise I made to myself, and it's yet to come to fruition. So I'm battling that. That's what that really is. But nah, I don't like. I make music because I want to make something that sounds cool. Like that's, or something that I think if I heard somebody else make it, I'd be like, oh, that's nice. That's
Right.
really why I make music at the end of the day, because I want to make stuff that sounds cool to me, but then also I could entertain the idea of it being palatable to somebody else and really like something that somebody else could rock with and listen to and enjoy. So at the end of the day, that's what it is for me mostly.
It's all passion. It's all what you really want to do, and that's the dope thing. Do you feel like, because I mean, you consider yourself an independent artist, which I do. Do you feel like um you want to eventually start collabing with a bunch of people and maybe even signing any people to your little independent um company?
Um,
Because I mean,
I,
I have a brother who did that,
mhm.
and I'm like, hey,
Yeah, yeah, because you don't really like you don't need to sign to like huge labels these days. Like you can like stream and make a decent living. Like if you make all the money, like if you're not signed, like a small portion maybe gets cut out. I think I don't know the exact situation, but I know that if you're independent and you have like 400,000 streams monthly, you're eating, you're good. So it's
mm,
like I think about that. I do also think about like being able to sign to a label. Like these are things that when you're an aspiring rapper, you think about all that stuff. Anybody who says they haven't, they're probably lying. I've thought about signing to Def Jam. I've thought about signing to Interscope. I've thought about like the dream of signing to TDE through Aftermath. However it goes, like of course I've thought about that, but also it's like there's evolution and times change. Would I be able to have like an independent? I don't even think that's like on my radar right now. It would
mm,
be cool. Like again, I think about that. Like I already know what I would want my label to be called if I had like or an LLC, whatever. It would be Forever Free. That's what I want to call it. So I
that's
already
dope.
got it. Yeah. So it's like these are things that you think about and dream about constantly making music. Collabing just comes with it. I'm willing to collab with anybody who I like their music and respect their music. I don't think I would necessarily collab with somebody because they're just hot or famous or they got the newest song or they got a lot of money or they're popular. I don't I don't think I would do that. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like I don't know what I would do in those situations. I'm human, so it's like if I see an opportunity that I'd be able to boost myself, I'd really have to think about if I would take it. But as far as artists that I respect and I think they make good music, I'm always willing to do that. I've done it before, but the artist that I collab with, I think he just dropped out. Like I think he wasn't with it anymore. He took down all the songs. But I have collabed with friend called his stage name is Nodis, and he's on Jungle Tapes. Those are my main collabs. You can go on there. Jordn, he mixed and mastered and produced all of it. So you can go on Spotify, Apple, and find all that stuff. So I'm always willing to collab. I think that's part of the game. That's something that you have to try and get comfortable with if you're not. So I'm always willing to do that for sure.
I mean, your tracks are dope, and collabing is definitely a big part of advertising. I feel like for any artist, not even just rappers, just anybody who's a creator. And because you are a rapper, have you ever thought about, other than my little bootleg online radio station, have you ever thought about like reaching out to radio stations in your area or anything and like advertising your music that way?
Well, first, I wouldn't call what you're doing bootleg anything. Like we're in this together, you know, like, because I know that I'm not like the biggest artist in the world or anything. So it's like starting low, you have to be there for the people who are trying to come up too. And there's nothing wrong with trying and pushing to try and, you know, do something bigger than what you could ever imagine. I wouldn't call what you're doing bootleg at all. I would call it grinding, and I would call it, it's the same thing that I'm doing. Like there's no difference, you know. So I respect you for bringing me on, and I have a lot of respect for what you're doing, because it takes a lot to even just put in the effort, you know. As far as like reaching out to radio stations and stuff and trying to promote like that's another thing that's thought about a lot, like being that local.
Oh, I got a number for you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. There is another online radio station looking for music. And they got a way bigger platform. I'm gonna hit you up with the information afterwards.
Okay, gotcha.
Anytime I find something, Jordn, I'm going to hit you with the information. Just gonna let you know you're my bootleg little brother now. So I'm gonna hit you with the heat. Anyway, go ahead.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, like there's being the local hip hop superstar. That's something too. All, you know, hip hop rap, like all artists in hip hop haven't always just been like, for us it'd be like Jack Harlow right now in Louisville, Kentucky. That's where I'm from. He's like blown up like crazy. They put these I forget what they call them, like Louisville's finest or something. They put them on all the buildings. So it's like Muhammad Ali, whoever else is from here. I think Jennifer Lawrence, they probably got one of hers because she's from, and then they're going to have him somewhere, I'm sure, at one point. But yeah, like he started out, I remember hearing him on the radio, Wasted Youth. It was this, I'm pretty sure that's what the song's called, but nobody knew who he was. I was like, who is this? And it was a nice little song. And they was just playing him on the radio. He didn't have any, you know, what's popping wasn't the thing. Like he wasn't who he is now. And people was rocking with him. So like, again, hearing him, I'm like, that could have been me if I would have put in the same amount of work. If I would have really, Jovi, what's up?
Jovi, like Lonnie Ice, baby. What's poppin', girl?
No, yeah, if I would have put in that much work, that might have been me, you know? So it's like, yeah, I definitely would love to be known in my city. If I'm known in where I'm from, like, but at the same time, and I've always thought about saying this in interviews too, I don't necessarily want to just rep my city. Like, I'm from here, but I was born in Colorado Springs. I was raised here in Louisville. So this is home for me.
Right.
But for me, like, that's not something that's like on my radar. Like,
right.
I want to make music for me and for my family. And I will always say I'm from Louisville, and I will represent Louisville.
Right.
But I tend to look past that. I can't really look at just where I'm at. I gotta look at where I want to go. But I mean, if I'm able to be like become a staple of hip hop in Louisville somehow, of course I would love that. Because we have like Jack Harlow, Static Major, I don't even know who the really down like. I think I don't even know. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even good with the hip hop here. Like,
It's people. That's all.
you know, I think I want to say Nappy Roots. I think Nappy Roots are from Louisville, but I
I
don't
love
know.
Nappy Roots, y'all.
Yeah.
But like,
So,
I just, for me, it's really been a passion, and I haven't even really got to talk to Jovi about this, but my brain has been wanting to promote not just new artists, but people who are just like popping off and doing great things. And you are
mhm.
definitely doing great things. Um, what is your biggest inspiration when it comes to your music?
uh, it would be like I would have to separate a few people. Tupac is a big inspiration for me, and it's funny you mentioned the documentary that
Yes, I
I
watched that
watched.
movie.
It was very good. I'm like a Tupac like historian. So Alan Hughes, Alan Hughes directed it, and if you know like Tupac, and they say it in there, but I knew before I even watched it because Alan Hughes fired Tupac and he fought him, and
Yeah,
and they jumped him and all that stuff.
yeah,
So before I even saw it, I'm like, I don't want to watch it because in my mind, being like a Tupac, like if you say something bad about Tupac, to me it's just like I'm not really like gonna care like that much because I've had people talk negative to him about it. It's like it is what it is. But part of me is like he gets so much flack for being young.
right,
I talked to somebody, I think it was one of my close friends, like being young coming into the game, like or being young, just being an artistic kid and being showcased for it at 17. People take that clip of him with the box cut or whatever. Yeah, flats, and then they take that and they run with it and say, well, this is proof that he wasn't who he was and blah blah blah, which is a half truth if anything. He was a child, he was a kid, but I can, Tupac is one of my biggest inspirations. I don't want to get into this whole because I can talk about.
we got some time. We can come back for a second interview.
We could
We can do
we
it.
could do that.
Like we can do it. I'm for it.
I would like that. Yeah, I would like that. No, this is chill. I would like that. But and one thing I will say for Tupac being my biggest inspiration, you was talking about earlier, his sensitive side, and you said something specific that's escaping me, but it made me think about this because this was in that documentary the first time I felt like I really related to Tupac was when Shock G was talking about how his family loved him.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Shock G for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. His family loved him, but he never felt like he had that like stable like support system,
Right.
and that's not to throw any type of anything at my family, but that's just how I felt growing up. I felt like I just felt that way for
Right.
whatever reason, and I really related to him in that moment. Feeling like just not being able to be, or just not feeling like I guess you couldn't be yourself because you're not really embraced. I don't know what it is,
Understood.
but Tupac. As far as production, who's my biggest inspiration production wise? It's got to be Kanye West. Like you really can't.
I love it. Did you see that documentary?
The Genius on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw some of it, and it's like when Kanye started like going from room to room or however he did it at Def Jam, and people looking at him crazy. That's what things like what I'm doing and what like that's what that is. Like when you see somebody like Kanye trying, and then people are just like kind of, and then for him to become who he like, that's inspirational all in its own. I know he's had his moments and everything, but as far as music, like can't really beat Kanye as far as production. Like we're just talking about producing. Like he might be the greatest. He might be him or Jay Dilla. So that's the two for me.
Listen, I love Kanye to the death of it. Like this brother said, he locked itself in a room doing 5 beats a day for 3 summers. And I know how it is because I produced mad beats when I was in high school. And I used to do that like 3 years ago. Like I was doing it. I'm getting back to working on my own album. I told Jovi about that. And it take a lot. It take a lot, especially when you doing this the right way. And see, the way I did it was bootleg because I had to go and make the beat by hand. So if I knew the song was going to be 4 minutes, I'm sitting here like...
You had a drum machine?
I had a keyboard that I didn't have a looper. I didn't have any editing tools. I had Fruity Loops, but it was the free version. And you know the free version is whack.
I don't even want to, like, I didn't have the free version, but I didn't have the paid version. That's all I'm gonna say. But I got it now though. That's all I'm gonna say. But, I got the paid version now, but I was there, like, just trying to wanting to make music, and you don't have the means. That's hip hop. That's like hip hop. That's where it comes. That's what it is. Not having the means to make music, but wanting to do it anyway, so you do it anyways. Exactly. That's about as hip hop as you can get. And that's how I was. I got, I wasn't good. I sucked when I first started making beats. Still do. People definitely.
Of
course.
Of course. Why are we swinging over here? Swinging.
Yeah, she got the poetic justice.
Swinging them.
Facts, big facts.
Oh, snap. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. You about to launch it out the shot. Like, I feel like, and I'm still gonna promote your stuff. Anytime you gotta fly in, like, you need to let me know. Forgive me my wonky eyes looking everywhere. I'm trying to get all this stuff done because I have another podcast in a few minutes. I'm trying to like coffee, grinding.
For real.
But I definitely want you to come back again. I definitely definitely. Again. And like, I want you to be like a bootleg guest host, like a side host on it.
Yeah.
When we have hip hop on, that you a hip hop head. And I'm not trying to cut this off. But I got like 5 more minutes. So we're gonna make this. We're gonna try to make it stretch. Like what Tupac say? Turn $1 into 15 cents. We gonna
trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Yeah, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Yeah. We gonna make that happen. we gonna put some Kool-Aid. We gonna put some Kool-Aid sugar in some water and say it's juice. That's what we gonna do.
I hear you. That sounds good to me.
So basically, I really want to know. Okay, what is the single right now that you want to promote? What is the single and what is it about? And where can we find it?
So I'll promote OCD. You can find it. I'm YouTube. You can go to YouTube, search Free Jordn. I do have it on SoundCloud as well. And the song is just about, I have obsessive compulsive disorder. So I sort of tie that into the idea that of rappers, unfortunately passing away from gun violence, which is something that I feel like isn't talked about enough. It's not highlighted enough. And when it does get highlighted by somebody who's of importance in the game, it's kind of just nobody says anything. J. Cole just had the song with Lil Durk where he pretty much highlighted that's a problem.
Right.
And I still don't think people talk about it enough. So that's sort of just me having a fear. That's another fear of mine. I don't, the amount of rappers that have died from gun violence makes me question if I want to rap sometimes. So it's just about that fear.
You're not about that life though, man. You're not about that life.
It's true, but
that's your life, man.
Look, listen. The way takeoff.
I was just gonna say it.
And PNB Rock, the way that they went was like, it makes you really question, really. Especially, it both are bad, but with the way Takeoff went and the way he passed was like, it shocked me. So, I think that's just something that I struggle with, having those overthinking those intrusive thoughts and stuff, and then also just want to be positive in my music and leave a positive impact. That's something that I always think about.
Yo, listen, you can't. I mean, you can, because I mean, I have OCD and I do struggle with it. Like, you're constantly fighting 15 people in your head. It's one of them telling you should do it, but then I don't know if I should really do it that way. And then it's one of them saying, well, what if they don't like this? Or what if this happens? You know what I'm saying? You're always what ifing. It's always that what if person on your shoulder.
Every day.
But at the end of the day, like, I'm sorry, multi-screen.
No, you're fine.
But honestly, what if is everything though? Like, what if the sky falls? Like, literally, like, didn't nobody think COVID was gonna happen? Like, honestly, like, nobody was like, hey, 2020, we about to all get sick up in this piece.
Yeah. and when 2020 happened and COVID happened, I thought that was the end of the world. So, you know, for a second, I was spooked. Yeah. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, OCD, you just gotta kind of live with it. You know, it's hard though.
I can't tell you because I mean, I take medicine for it.
Because they don't like when my whole journey with that, I was at once on a medicine for anxiety, and but it wasn't for OCD. So it's like it made me feel calm with the intrusive thoughts. So like I was having panic attacks, and I was having panic attacks every day, and then they give me a medicine, take this, and I'm like, okay, bet. The thoughts didn't go anywhere. I was just chill with intrusive thoughts. So it's like, I don't think, I don't think it's really, I don't know. Maybe they don't know how to, I don't know. It's a struggle though. It's tough.
It is a struggle. Struggle. And because you are a creative person and you are a very deep thinker, it's gonna make it worse. Like if somebody was just shallow and they had anxiety, I don't think it would be as bad for them. But when you are a creative person, you are literally a creative thinker. So you're overthinking your overthoughts. Like, how can I make this better? How can I say this way? What makes this line hit harder? What makes this beat? How does this 808 come in the right way? Like, how do I do this? You know what I'm saying? How do I promote myself? Am I good enough? And it's like, all I can tell you is when them thoughts happen, because they're going to happen. Even if you didn't have anxiety, you're going to have thoughts. All I can tell you is if we let a lot of our overthinking stop us, we wouldn't have Tyler, the Creator. I'm just going to say that. And I freaking love that dude. This man is on stage jumping around with an asthma pump.
I want to say Tyler, the Creator, like there's a handful of artists that I feel like in hip hop have the most like interesting careers, and he's one of them. I'll say that, especially with what he's turned his music into now. From where he started, he's like one of the most interesting artists, one of the most talented artists right now, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like your story is interesting as well. I feel like we're just gonna keep bigging you up and promoting you until you become the next Kanye Yeezus without the extra Yeezus. Just a little Kanye pepper on it, no Yeezus. Just a little bit of it. A bit of it. But I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna say thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, with your boy Free Jordn. Tell them what platforms they can reach you at and what to look out for next.
You can find me on YouTube at Free Jordn. You can find me on SoundCloud, Free Jordn. I got a single on all streaming platforms, so if you want to find me there. Where else? Instagram, Free Jordn. Everywhere that there's Free Jordn, that's me. I pretty much got that name on lock. Free Jordn, no spaces and no A. So that's, if you see that, that's me. And you can yeah, for real. And I'm gonna keep trying to drop singles. I do have a project I'm working on, but I'm not gonna say anything or make it too I'm working with somebody else on that sort of. So that's gonna come. I don't know when, but when it comes, you all will know, and I'll let everybody know. And I just appreciate you having me on, and anybody who ever listens to me.
Drop it to the radio station so I can play it. I already got the songs you got in rotation. I did that yesterday. I stayed up to make sure that was done.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you so much for coming, Free Jordan. Thank you. We have so much to look forward to. I can't wait to do this interview again without having to rush. I'm gonna make sure there's nothing else I have to do. Nothing.
Got you.
Thank you so much for coming. Look for
Thank
him,
you.
subscribe to him, follow him, stream him, overstream him, get his pockets paid. Tell your friends to tell a friend, like Biggie said. Okay, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank you so much. It is Latoya Justice Shari, aka Miss Marvel Storm 110, and we're out. Smooches. Peace. Okay, let me end this so we can be out. Yeah.